I want to talk about citing sources. In particular, I'm concerned about the citation of electronic sources. And so I want to point to the standard that we're going to use. Citing electronic sources has been kind of a moving target over time. Changes have occurred, and so that we're all on the same page, I would like to use Purdue's OWL as the standard that we'll use for the semester. I'm going to talk about MLA citations today. Ed majors use that. The poli-sci majors use APA. So think about which is preferable for your discipline. MLA is probably the easiest, and that's why I'm going to talk about it today. So at Purdue University, they have the Purdue OWL Online Writing Center. I have the URL at the top of the screen there for you. It's easy to find. It's considered one of the best writing centers in the country. And so that's why we've chosen that. Now, I have a longer URL here that talks about MLA specifically, but if you just go to the front page there on Purdue OWL, you can actually click on the citation method that you want to use for your writing project this fall. So there's some very simple things to think about when you're doing a citation. Usually you have the author, you have the title of the article, the title of the web page, the URL, which is the address, the web address, right, and the date accessed. Now, sometimes the problem is we don't have an author, and in that case, you forego citing the author's name. But you should be able to find the information for, like, the title of the article, title of the web page, and the rest of the information. So I used an example. I went to a web page. It's a think tank, think tanks are very good ideas to use when you're writing paper on ideology, because you can be writing it from the liberal, conservative, and libertarian perspective, and then the final assignment you're going to be giving me your own perspective on the policy that you've chosen. So here, the name of the article is Money in Politics. I couldn't find an author, but I found the title of the article. And it was on a page called Protecting Democracy on the Public Citizen website. And there you can see the URL, and then you can see that I accessed that website on September 18, 2002. Actually, I can see that there's some other things here that you should think about. The title of the article is in quotation marks. Protecting Democracy, it doesn't show up real well on the screen, but that should be in italics. And actually, you probably could just put a comma right after that, Public Citizen, no alterations to the text, a comma, URL, period, date access, period. The other thing you want to note here as well is the formatting. The formatting on your works cited page is the first line is always to the left of your margin, and then you indent all other lines below it one tab space, so it'd be about 5 spaces. So you just hit your tab button once, and then if you hit the tab button again, it will wrap around. It's important that you do this so that all of the information is clear. I would then actually go down, hit my enter, and go down another space. I would start again in the left-hand column. Hit the tab and move it over, right? It's fairly simple. So these are the kinds of things that you need to think about as you are collecting your data, is that you need the information necessary to cite your sources. If you go to the Purdue OWL website, it will give you all of the correct information you need for your chosen citation method. So whichever method you choose, you must do it correctly. The other thing to remember, I know a lot of you like to use those programs that produce the citations for you, but the problem is most of those programs produce incorrect citations. And so it is just easier to learn how to do a particular one that's appropriate for your discipline and just continue to practice it over and over again. I will take points off if the citations are incorrect, if the citation page is done incorrectly as well. So it's important that you practice learning how to do this correctly.